On August 5th, 1993, the first ever trading card game called Magic the Gathering was released into the world by Professor Richard Garfield, and soon published by the Wizards of the Coast. It even happened to get so popular that many stores reported that copies of the card game just flew off the shelves. And with this boom, many have tried to ride that wave, while many have failed. And here we are, more than 20 years later, and Magic the Gathering is one of the card games that still stand to this day. There are other popular franchises that stand next to this behemoth as well, such as the card game Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Pokemon. So it should come to no one's surprise when I say there are many others attempting to make a stand in this market. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk today about a lesser known card game called Monster Club. Monster Club, according to the website, is an unearthly conflict between monsters in a 10 to 15-minute card game. And from someone who has been playing this card game for months now, yeah, that's fitting. Games can be quick if you at least are playing against someone who knows the general rules. And looking at my current deck, I'm running a person from room service, which, Jaguar that is literally on fire, makeshift Gengar, a monkey, and, oh yeah, the mood. But today we're not going to talk about any of that. We're not going to talk about the gameplay, intricate mechanics, or even why the monkey is the best card in the game. Today we are going to talk about some theories I have in mind and what you should expect for Monster Club Arcade Issue number 7, Gods and Power. Before going into the theories I want to go into, number 1, Control Theory, number 2, the Loop Theory, and finally, number 3, the Extinction Theory, I would like to take a look at the promo for the new comic simply called Gods and Power. And yes, the biggest reveal about the trailer is, drumroll please, the pinkish red mist. While this mist is similar to the Witch of Power, it is also the same as the mist that surrounds, and most likely comes from Gills, and even is similar to the mist from Witch of Distortion. So, yeah, that's it. No. No. In all seriousness, the big focus of the trailer was the Scepter, and we see this in 3 different cards. Witch of Distortion, Witch of Power, and Spectre Scepter. I will ignore the first one for a moment and take a moment to look at the Witch of Power's flavor text found on the Monster Club website. It states that Witch of Power is an ancient force sealing the game of Monster Club. While it is unclear why they chose to close the game in the first place, it may be to protect others. While this may seem like a random thought, if you look into the goldmine that is card descriptions, there are 8 or so instances of control being mentioned. To some, they may argue, oh hey, that is simply a way of helping a player understand what a card does, but that couldn't be further from the truth. To some, they may argue that it is simply a method, a way of helping a player understand what a card does, but that couldn't be further from the truth, as both cards, Giggles and Deck Genie, are quote-unquote being imprisoned in a card. I want that to sit with you all. Imprisoned does not give the slightest connotation that they are willing to be there. Card S093, The Witch Returns, goes as far to even say that the one who holds this card holds the power to return any fallen witch or mage and put it under its control. Monsters / spirits being put under control and being forced to fight with one another? No, 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 no. I know Ray did not ask Pretty Force Dweller for consent when they were put in that card. They were hard vibing. And now I don't even know what they're doing. Look at the comic series. I swear I've not seen Deck Genie smile at all. Not once. It gets worse when you realize, oh hey, the rogue, Card Thief Ray, stole the very thing that controls the games. I can't even joke about this one, as this description for Spectre Scepter states, a mighty hand controlling the scepter of games. Everyone says the Scepter of Witch and Power and Spectre are the same, but no one ever thinks about the implications of that ever happening. Uh-oh, beef alert. So this buffoon tried to write an entire script and record in the span of, I'll put this on the screen, hours, so they won't have time to record their thoughts about the other theories. In summary, the loop theory is an idea that the world is in a current cycle. Call it a Groundhog Day, if you will. The reasoning behind this is that some of the interactions between characters seem to give an idea that the other may have lived the moment already and knows what's going to happen next. While this may just be some secret characters planning things, it doesn't seem to be that way. Heck, even the first issue is called The End of the World, but what if it wasn't the end of everything, but the end of a current world that will be reset to the day before once the events come together? Comic issue number 3 even shows the character, Pink, waiting on a small planet only to be riding a dragon moments later, then meet Witch of the Night, who tells them that they have the potential to change the events that may come soon, hinting that they know what will happen next. Then Pink even questions if they were or are in the afterlife, and mind you, Witch of the Night does not say no to this, which then makes me think that Pink actually was in the afterlife, perhaps in a state of limbo, and died in one of those loops. Then Witch of the Night revived them, but then we see the dragon get zapped with Pink on it, and then Pink is just suddenly in the bus at the end of the world. So much happens in that one comic, and people don't really notice it. It might just be the possibility that I don't even know what I'm talking about, and I am looking too into character dialogue, but it's so good. On a serious note, if you haven't, you need to read the comics. Go check out Monster Club on their socials and what they post on their website, which is their comics, and just support them, because it's great. It's great. And there's just so much going on, and it's beautiful. So to the corporation, I just wanted to let you know that if you are listening to this, there is at least one person who enjoys there's at least one person who enjoys what you're doing, and for as much as me going on about the game balancing and the server, join the server if you're not in it, by the way. I do that a lot. You're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing, and there will be people who notice. Okay, this is the point when you people realize, oh hey, I don't have a script left. Finally, I wanted to talk about the extinction theory. The idea is that the monsters may have actually roamed and lived, the current Earth that we are in before, but they all died. The reasoning behind this is the implications behind some of the cards. Seriously, in the gameplay sense, yeah, a Cup of Monster is pretty good if you're running, a feeder deck, but, no one ever realizes that was something, and that something could destroy entire species in the matter of moments. And to that, it kind of makes sense. We've seen promos of monsters being on the Earth. We've seen the expedition files where there was Ray, there was Giggles, there was a combo dragon. We even see a Dragon of the Shimmering scaling a skyscraper. It's really something. But then you look at it and you say, where are they now? While I do think some may still be alive to this day, some of them either have died of old age or have died due to some of the cards being actual recreations of events. Cards like Resurrection of Events even go as far to say that, oh hey, you can bring back events, or it has the chance and the potential of bringing cards back or events back. I will put the description on screen, but that's scary. I at least I find it scary, because that means that some of the the power cards that we see were, at least at one point, or still are, events or items that have happened. So to cards like Dragon Neutralizer, it then makes sense why we don't see Bat Dragons. To cards like, let's say, Cup of Monster, I would then say, yeah, I see why we don't see many Fire Dragons, or Dragon Neutralizer just kills dragons entirely. And then there are cards like Shadow Destruction, which destroy all face-down monsters. Does that mean that those who were trying to hide eventually got found and died? There's so many implications behind cards that mainly are actives, because at one point they were active, and at one point someone died. That's why we don't see army soldiers rolling around. That's why there are really only a few monsters left. And to the very few that are left, I believe that they at least had some scope of intelligence to escape or survive and figure out their current situation. Because with cards like Titan Neutralizer, heavy-hitting monsters became nothing. They were the equivalent of turtles with possibly like 1 or 2 slots. And that's why they're gone. Because the moment Titan Neutralizer may have come to them, either they found a way to live, or they didn't. Sure, there's a card like Giggles, but to me, like, okay, Giggles makes sense, because they were stated to be imprisoned in a card, and that also makes sense for Deck Genie, considering genies. But other than that, dragons may have convinced people to work with them and have fought in wars. Combo Dragon, whichever one, wait, no. In the descriptions, it states that the Combo Dragons were once part of a tribe, giving the idea that they had some form of intelligence to communicate with one another, and would then make sense why they were able to communicate with possibly humans and live on. On the other hand, you have Poisonous Eel. And Ghost in the Skull. Oh boy. Yeah. Some of the monsters just died due to... Well, no, yeah, my point version. Well, those two theories I'm not too positive about. The loop theory might indefinitely be a thing. I do see potential in it, but I also somewhat see potential in the extinction theory, but I heavily believe that the monsters are being controlled. Finally, what should you expect for the new comic? Well, to put it simply, there are 3 cards. Well, sorry, yeah. I'm currently looking at the cards: Card Thief Ray, Witch of Power, the entire Spectre set, and Witch of Distortion, and most likely Giggles. The reasoning behind that is, what I believe to have happened is the Witch of Power either went against Ray My apologies. Ray stole the scepter from the Witch of Power, therefore turning it into the Spectre of Games. And then in defense, the Witch of Power may have brought back or, gotten Giggles and turned into the Witch of Distortion to attempt to fight back. But this is where I'm going to have to rely on game mechanics here. And to put it simply, the Witch lost. The Spectre of Games, is a scissors type. The Witch of Distortion? Paper. Scissors beats paper, and the Witch falls. Then from there, I think either... No. Then from there, I think that Ray actually may have kept them around... Then from there, I think Ray may have actually kept the Witch of Power around in the form of the Witch Returns, putting the Witch under their control. However, I may be entirely wrong, and the fight may have gone differently, or there may have not been a fight at all, or some things might have happened, but that's my current idea of how Ray became Spectre of Games. And as for the comic, I'm expecting some form of that to happen, but it looks like we are reaching the end of the comic series, and we are about to reach a climax. Hence why there was an entire promo just labeled Gods and Monsters. Gods and Power, Gods and Power. There will be a fight for power, and it will be the end of the world. Anyways, those are my thoughts for the new, comic. If you like what you see, subscribing or liking would be cool. Please, 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 go follow Monster Club and all of their socials, and just join the Discord. We at least have one game on there a day at least, and generally, people are really cool, and, Adrian has a cat. We all worship Memphis, and if people say no, they're lying to you. Everyone loves Memphis, and Creepy wants some chalky milk. And finally, if you could comment your thoughts on Pineapple Pizza, because I am busting down on the corporation on their thoughts about Pineapple Pizza. They think it's bad, and that it shouldn't exist. I'm telling you right now, no. Just no. In all seriousness, just go check them out. They're really cool. I'll link their stuff in the description. Okay. Bye.